Hey you guys, what's up? It is Blind Eye, and I'm here to give you all my thoughts on Twisted Metal Season 2, Episode 12, the finale. And you might think we start right off where we left off at the end of Episode 11, but nope. This is what I've been waiting for. Give me some more Calypso backstory, baby. Calypso, if you don't know, he's my favorite character of the whole franchise, always has been, always will be, and it's nice to see some Calypso action. Now, it starts off way back in like 1915 or 15 something or other. Way back in the day. It's got a black and white filter on it, and I love this. There's these two, like, I'm assuming pilgrim looking dudes, and they come across as well, Ring style. This is immediately what I thought. This is totally like the Ring. And Calypso just, boom, crawling right out the well, baby, covered in water and blood and mud and who knows what. And he just laughs. And then it just cuts to like 2000, and he's giving a PowerPoint presentation to executives at NBC about a Twisted Metal show, which is so cool to see. And then he's got like celebrities from back in the day, like Carson Daly. I don't really know who that is. I don't never paid attention. And Wesley Snipes, which I've never seen the Blade movies. I need to do that. And they had Carson with the Spectre car, Wesley Snipes with the Crimson Fury car, and then they're just going back and forth, and like, we don't know how this would work. And then they just kind of like brush it off. Oh yeah, we're going to do battle bots instead. And so they kind of shove him off, and they're like, oh, I want my 5 minutes back. And then Calypso's like, okay, the world isn't ready right now, but when it is, it's going to be time to rock. And I love how, like, during his PowerPoint presentation, there was references to past games. He even says, we can go to Paris and Hong Kong, like just like in the game, which is awesome. They'll even drive off the Eiffel Tower, and it's like Twisted Metal World Tour references and just Twisted Metal 2 references. It's so cool. Come on now. So we cut back to the tournament, and Stu won, which is, I can't believe, that's absolutely insane that he won. I can't believe it. That's so cool. And so he's like, I want my fucking wish. And so now we get to see his wish and what happened. And we find out that Sweet Tooth and him, since they went into the well room together, that Sweet Tooth done pissed in the well. So when Quiet and John drank the water, that was mixed in there. And yeah. So Stu's wish, he just wants to be away from all of this, all the chaos, all that. Calypso says to him, you think about it, are you sure this is what you want? He's telling him point blank, hey, are you sure? You better be careful what you're asking for, what you're wishing for. And then Stu's just like, I want my fucking wish. And then unfortunately, he doesn't say your wish is granted, but he does say, thank you for playing Twisted Metal, as he looks right into the camera. And I'm like, okay, that was so cool. And then it looks like he clapped his hands together. And then, of course, they pull Twisted Metal 2 ending. As soon as he said, I want to be somewhere safe, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's about to go down. He's about to get sent up into space. They're twisting the wish. They're kind of doing a little Outlaw 2 action from Twisted Metal 2, which is awesome. And he got his wish. He got to be with Mike, but it's Mike's corpse, and they are both floating in this pod out in space. And then Mike is dead floating there. Stu is looking around. He's like, what the fuck? And he looks out the window and sees the Earth. He's like, what the fuck? And then you see the Calypso Industries logo on the outside, and here Calypso's laughing. And that's it. Then it's like, what the hell was that? That's insane. And then, now, I forgot to mention in the last episode, Mayhem was chilling up there with Calypso because, she saw Minion being, like, worked on and stuff. So he basically had her hostage, but she kills the one guard who's bald, and she slits his throat. I like to think that's a nice little reference to Twisted Metal Black, which is cool. She takes his gun, points it at Calypso. She's like, I'm out of here. And he's like, yeah, go. I don't care. Go. And so she comes back in with a Sweet Tooth truck, which is awesome, with the ice cream truck. And saves the day pretty much. She puts her foot on the gas. Quiet gets some jumper cables to revive John, and that revives him. And he says Jello when he wakes up, which is funny. He's like, did we win? And so then they all dissipate, and the whole like it was the outsiders that got, or not the out. I always get these two confused. It's the insiders that got blown up. The insiders got eradicated. They're the one that got blown up at the end of the last episode. And yeah, so now it's basically okay. It's time to calm down. You know, we had a nice little dose of action there for a bit. So now it's time to kind of calm down, take a nice breather. What's everybody up to? John, Quiet, and Mayhem make their way to that cabin, which is cool. And they start, you know, living life there. They're like, Mayhem goes and she goes, "Oh man, this bed is mine. I want this bed." And then it's basically a chair, and then it's like one of them chairs that shakes or whatever, massaging chair. And she's loving that. John goes to his old room. He's chilling there. They're all living life, doing their thing. They go to fish, and John's teaching Mayhem how to fish, and Quiet's just like, screw this. She just shoots the water and is like, "Oh, I caught one." And then John's like, "That's not how you fish." And then Mayhem just does it, and then John just, if you can't beat him, join him. And then they're all shooting at the water, and they all get fish. So they're all having dinner. Of course, you know Calypso's going to show back up on the damn TV, which is what he does. But he's not alone. He's got, he basically set it up so when they were all in the prom, they all had to change different clothes. He had two like henchmen, I guess, like dress up as them, or two random people dress up as them and place the explosives under the stands. I'm guessing that's what all that was, to make it look like it was. I don't know. So there's this group now. It's the United Trinity of something or other, but the whole thing is UTI. That's their group name. UTI. It's ridiculous. So basically now John and Quiet and Mayhem have a target on their back, and it's basically open season on them. Like the whole world is now a battleground, and this UTI group is going to send out a bunch of people. And whether they team up with them or not, whether people team up with them or not, you know, it's going to be an all-out war. It's going to be cool. Now, I thought about this. I was like, okay, so if you're bringing out all these factions, I guess if you want to call them that, you know Warthog has to show up. Warthog, I can never pronounce it right. Warthog is going to show up. He's got to have a whole big militia-themed group going after them. I'm sure that's going to happen. But yeah, so once the broadcast ends, Minion shows up, and now Minion's fighting them again. So I was like, oh, dude, Minion's back. Oh, shit. And so Minion's got John up by the neck against the wall, and he goes like to rip the head off of it, because you know they don't know if it's a robot or a monster robot, as John calls him. So he takes the head off of it, and he technically gets his wish too. He wanted his sister back. Well, it turns out Minion is Krista, but it's not really Krista. It's like a whole warped, rebuilt, reanimated corpse of her or whatever. But dude, that was cool. Come on now. That's so cool. And it gets better. And so as she's got John up against the wall, and then there's all of a sudden you see a point of view of a scope, and it's like, oh, what the hell is going on here? And then it shoots at Minion a few times, and you're like, what in the hell is going on? Dude, I love this. This is total Twisted Metal head on Hammerhead right here. Stu walks up in the house, Terminator style, and he says a funny line like, "Come with me if you want to live." He says something else. It was funny. "Come with me if you don't want to die." I think is what he says. Yo, he's got the total, like, the sniper rifle, the huntsman looking outfit or whatever. I think it's still a spacesuit, but I don't know. But that totally gave me vibes of Twisted Metal head on Hammerhead's ending there, who was a hunter, and his name was Catfish, and he wanted to hunt Calypso as oh, we're going to be men. We're going to do this like men. And then Calypso screws him over and kills him. But that was cool. That's how where my mind went with that is like, oh, that's totally a reference to Hammerhead from Twisted Metal head on, which is cool. And John, you know, because they found a weak spot on the back of Minion. There's always got to be a weak point on the back, right? So he takes the hatchet, hits her with it, and then her eyes, I didn't notice this on the first watch through, her eyes changed. It went from white to like normal. So there's still a little bit of Krista in there, and he also does the that's what it was, because she had him up against the wall, throws him down, throws him around, and she's like choking him out, and then he does the whistle, and that's what kind of like stops her. So she's still there. Something of Krista's still in there, and I'm sure that's going to be explored later on in season 3. So after all that, they all leave in the Sweet Tooth truck, and they come to a crossroads, a 4-way intersection, which is cool, crossroads. And now it's like, what are we going to do? Mayhem's like, should we run? And then John's got like this grin on his face. He's like, no, it's going to be all out war. There's going to be a target on our back. Like we got to take out the dealer. I'm going to kill Calypso. So it's like, yeah, buddy, we all know what was going on with that. That's where that was going to lead up to. And so that's where he's like, we need cars. And so now they're all going to get their cars. Now I am hoping, baby, come on now. Give me Hammerhead Monster Truck for next season, man. Come on. And then I got so many theories now coming up, because now you think you're done? No. What happened to Sweet Tooth? He ain't dead. So he gets chained up, and there's a guy that's like, hey, take him away. And then we cut back to him again. And now he's being dragged along the road by a taxi cab, which is awesome. They're going to the East Coast. They're going to New York, I'm assuming. And Sweet Tooth's like, hey, you better unchain me or else I'm going to throw this car in the river. I forget the terminology he used, but it reminded me of Matilda. The hammer throw. He's like, I'm going to hammer throw your car into the river over there. And he's like, hey, calm down. Your dad wants to see you. He saw you on the tournament and on the TV in the tournament, and he's proud of you. And so I'm going to take you to see him. He wants to see you right away. And then they're walking, and Sweet Tooth's like, Dad? And so he's raring to go now. And as he's waking up, he's like, oh man, that was a best night's sleep I've ever gotten in so long. So that was funny. So he just got knocked out, of course. They weren't going to kill him. So then they walk by the sign, and the sign says Charlie Kane on it. Oh my God. So we're getting Sweet Tooth's dad. It's going to be so freaking cool to see who they cast. There's so many theories I have what could happen for season 3. Like, we're totally going to get Darktooth, right? He's got to be the final boss of season 3 or something. Come on. Darktooth's got to show up. Oh man. And then we're not even done. And then there's another credit scene where it shows the drive-in again. So this is where I was a little bit confused. I was like, so are y'all teasing Axel coming back, or are you teasing Zemo coming back? There ain't no way Zemo's coming back. He died. But if he's making people in the cars, I could totally see him doing something like that himself to survive. Or it's Axel. I mean, come on now. Either way, it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for season 3. I'm going to do a whole review of season 2 at some point soon, maybe next week. We'll see. But it's definitely coming, so keep an eye out for that. And I guess that's it, man. That's it for Twisted Metal Season 2, and that's it for my review of Twisted Metal Season 2, Episode 12, the finale. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please, typical YouTube spiel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Check out the channel. I'm a filmmaker, visually impaired filmmaker, one-man show filmmaker. Lunatic 2, narrator anthology series, episode 1, The Closet Creatures, episode 2, The Abductors, upcoming episode 3, maybe, we'll see. Video game stuff, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted full-time edition review on PSVR 2, Let's Plays, First Impressions, highlight compilations, all that awesome stuff. Music stuff, I do all my music for all the videos I make because I don't want it to do with YouTube copyright bullshit. So I use my iPad, GarageBand, BandLab, do all my music myself. So, yeah, buddy, I do a lot over here. That's all me. Everything I do is all me, baby. But anyway, I'm Blab, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all for whatever comes next.